I thought we were outstanding defensively. And what's interesting is I was just looking at the blocking numbers, and by the looks of that, if you gauged our success as a blocking team solely on that, it wouldn't look very impressive. But our block had everything to do with our the efficiencies we were able to keep Cincinnati to, and the floor defense behind it was really well organized. So yeah, just a great match. I think that's a taste for the home crowd of what Skylar is capable of beyond just what she can do from the service line. I mean, that's a pretty impressive stat line to hit 500 in the Big 12 in a match like that. She looked really good, good rhythm, good decision making, but they all did an excellent job. Michaela, Abby, running the offense. Yeah, just a lot of really good things, but we've got to carry that over and make sure that we continue to improve.
Coach, congratulations on your first Big 12 win.
Thank you.
And also the 800th.
That's what I heard. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So what does that mean for you? I mean, just personally coming off of your previous coaching career, and now you're in the Big 12. What does that mean?
I mean, I am somebody that I love history. I respect history. I know I'm a small part of something that's much larger than me as a coach at a program like UCF. So to be able to contribute a single win to 800 is great, but it's really to think about the number of people that both started this, came through different generations and different eras of UCF volleyball, and propped this program up. I'm a very lucky coach, and so much respect to everybody that had a hand in that, and happy that, again, I could contribute a little bit something to it.
Coach, more than double the kills of the Bearcats. What do you attribute that to?
I thought the setters did great. I mean, Abby was out there the bulk of the time, and you could see what she was doing, getting our middles and the right sides going. And I thought she was really making some really good timely decisions, getting us some good looks, splits in the block. And then Michaela, when she had her opportunities, was really, they set so differently, it can be difficult for teams to make that kind of adjustment for the short stretches that Michaela gets out there. So I just love, you'd see a team that hits over 300, you're going to be happy. And a lot of that is first contact and, of course, the setting decisions that were made out there. So really pleased with what they did.
You talked about the defensive performance tonight.
Yeah.
We saw Alexa tonight.
Yeah.
How did she really step up today, leading digs?
She's really good. There were a couple times on the bench where we looked at each other and we missed the dig, but we were evaluating the read that she had made to put herself in position, and that was phenomenal. I mean, that's something that usually you would expect to take a little bit more time. So it's not surprising, but there was a couple moments there where she's just anticipating so well and reading the game so well, putting herself in position, and I thought she was really assertive in second ball when she could help and jump in and put a ball to the outside. So I think she's gaining some confidence, and she absolutely should. She is good. She's going to continue to get better, and she's going to be a big part of what we do here.
Coach, you were talking on the defense as well, and Reagan Thompson being named the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week. I mean, what does that mean for the program?
Yeah,
big night for her too.
Yeah, she's just so versatile. Again, same thing. The numbers aren't going to stand out as it relates to her blocking, but she was all over the net, and she was impacting every swing that Cincinnati was taking. So it's a little bit more subtle if you're not looking at just the stat sheet, but she's just so explosive both vertically and laterally, and when you have a middle that's able to do that, it can cause problems for the other teams.
We saw again the team, we saw it with Baylor, kind of tips and trying to adjust and not hit into those blocks.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to see keep going forward and preparing for that?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job responding. I thought at the end of set 2, Cincinnati, and in quick succession, had some pretty big blocks and made some pretty aggressive moves on our hitters. And we didn't quite see it, or the decision didn't line up with what we wanted. And we talked about that in between 2 and 3. And I think set 3 was our highest offensive output efficiency-wise, or maybe, sorry, the first was pretty good. And I thought they did a much better job in those spots. So it is something we're always going to want to focus on, how to change velocity, when to change shot selection. Skylar, you saw, had a couple really nice off-speed shots that just based on her setting those up earlier in the match, there wasn't anybody close to it. So that's the value of playing that game.
We'll talk on that offensive efficiency. I think just being in the stands, it's kind of felt like y'all set the tone in that first set. Do you feel like that kind of...
Yeah, I thought the first set was, okay, the first set to hit over 400, but more impressive was what we were able to do defensively. That, to me, is the outlier. And we knew Cincinnati is going to play much better than that, and we are going to go back to a more reasonable output. And I thought we did, but it's nice to get glimpses of what can happen when everything's clicking. First touch setting, the hitters, but that's not a realistic standard for us. I do think the way the rest of the match unfolded probably is, and the closer that we can play to that level moving forward is going to be great. And I wouldn't mind if we pop up to that outlier every once in a while.
I saw some really great defense against their off speed.
Yeah.
So I know that we had some off speed.
Yeah.
But is that something you prepare for in practice?
Again, I think we've got some nice outlet hitters that are learning to mix things up. And so if you're seeing that on the defensive end in our practice gym, it's going to help prepare you a little bit. But no, I think the reads, you hit on it, they were reading really well. And it looks, when you see what we were getting out of those touches. So rather than someone falling over and just keeping it alive, we were getting ourselves in system, and that means you're reading it well, you're getting there early, and that was a big difference. So we started to see it in set one, and we wanted to make sure that carried over. That really played a big role in our transition game.
Coach, you're one of the few new Big 12 newcomers, and so is Cincinnati's head coach, Coach Tomic.
Yeah.
I believe that's how you say it.
Yep.
But what does that mean? What did you see from her tonight as well?
I don't know her situation, and we don't know each other personally. What I do know about her is she's a tremendous coach. I know what she's done throughout the years at FIU, at Bowling Green. So she is going to get that program exactly where she wants it. And we all facing different challenges with these kinds of transitions. So we have that commonality, but they're all so unique. You wouldn't expect it to, anything more than surface level stuff. But I want her to be successful. We all want the Big 12 to be as good as we can possibly be, and I know they're a great program. So it'll be fun to see everybody elevate as we get into the conference season.
One or two more.
Alexa Haley getting her third consecutive start.
Yeah.
What do you want to see more from her?
I want her to keep doing what she's doing. She, the only thing that I've talked to her about directly is being more assertive, because we know how much course she can take, but she's young, and I think sometimes freshmen think, that might be somebody else's responsibility with their voice or a ball between you and I. But when you wear that jersey, you have a responsibility that supersedes age, experience. Tonight, I saw both with her voice and her action, and people are beginning to understand she's going to take a ball from you because that's her job. And when you start to build that confidence, like we know she's going to be there, I don't have to worry about this ball, things start to flow a little bit more confidently for everybody.
Back on defense, going into this game, Cincinnati was top 10 in the nation for their hitting percentage. You guys held them to half of that.
Yeah.
How do you carry that defensive dominance into the following weeks?
Hopefully doing what we're doing. That's a big point of emphasis for us, and something that we've talked about with the team, that I think a lot of what we've done in terms of our wins has come down to our ability to defend well and disrupt and make people uncomfortable. So from the service line to the block to the floor defense. And I think that is turning into and shaping into a piece of our identity. And so I certainly hope it is, because when you can do that, you can stay close even when the offense isn't firing on all cylinders. You can find ways to keep it close at the end of a set, and good things can happen when you do that. So I'm really happy with what they're doing on the defensive side of it.